Oh, looking at home. Back to Mountain Home Rookies. We're going to do something a little bit different today. Going to look at the differences and pros and cons to electronic versus acoustic kits. So let's get started. So let's take a look at the Alesis brand electronic drum kit. This one is a modified DM10. As you can see, got multiple cymbals. This one does not have the standard pads that a lot of drum kits have, except on the snare drum. As you can see, it's got a 10-inch snare drum. The control is nice. It has its own mixing board, as you can see right here. You can change the sound. Drum kits are easy to decide upon. You can scroll through various kits. It does have the ability to record as well, and you can play metronomes, so you have yourself a nice click track, and you can modify quite a bit. The sound works pretty well. You can see your pedals down here. So you can see how it sounds. So looking at an electronic kit, you can see it has a pretty nice look, and it's pretty simple. And this one is an Alesis with the DM10 control module. It's comfortable, very portable. You can actually lift this up. As you can see, I'm just doing it with one hand. Very portable. That's usually the biggest benefit behind electronic kits. And they're fun to play because you can modify all the sounds and have lots of fun with it. So one thing about electronic kits, you can't really modify much of the sound. Some of the modern cymbals have various hit points on them, various triggers. This one has a choke on it. But depending on where you hit it, if you want the bell sound, the crash sound. This one's a little more basic, but the control module, as you can see, you can plug in quite a few triggers. You can also add your own MIDI sounds in and out. You can use USB if you prefer. So in case you're wondering how electronic kits sound, let's just get a basic groove going. Set it down. So here you can see my acoustic kit. This is a Gretsch. This is actually a Catalina maple. Everyone has their personal preferences. The reason I like this one is two big reasons. I kind of like a very pingy sound. Give me kind of a nice warm, quick sound to them. And they're compact, which is nice as well, which makes them far more portable. The shells are real maple, have a really nice veneer look to them. Right there. And they sound great. So let's take a look at the sound on them. Okay, you can start. So one of the first things you'll notice is the array of cymbals. If you look at an electronic kit, all the cymbals are going to look very similar. It can be a grayish or black and all the same size. You can look at cymbals like this. You'll have your special effects cymbals. This one's a nice little China. You'll see that some people will sometimes flip it upside down. And this one over here, Sabian calls it an ozone. It gives it kind of a trashy sound. Similar to hitting the top of a metal trash can. And then you'll have your typical crashes. This one's a thin crash. This one is a larger version of it. And you have your smaller ones. Here's my little splash cymbal. And your ride cymbal, I prefer a 20-inch ride. Some people have an 18-inch ride, depending on what you're playing. And I typically play with 14-inch hi-hats. You'll see some people will go with smaller ones at 13 or bigger ones at 15. That's really a personal preference. Depends on the sound you want. I have a very pingy sound. The bigger it gets, the smaller it gets. It'll have a very sharp, warm sound to it. So I stick with a 14-inch. And that's the cymbal. So you look at the cymbals on the acoustic versus the electronic, tends to be more variety of look, if not sound. Whereas on the electronic, the sound is typically governed by your triggers. Obviously, these will just depend on where you hit it and how hard you hit it. So you'll see with the acoustic kit with the head, certain heads can give you a nice feel to them. Typically, you'll have a vinyl head on an electronic kit. These ones can also be vinyl, but you can see the feel is different. And these are also tunable as well. Then your cymbals, you get a nice bronze look. A nice bronze sound. And cymbals for an acoustic kit can come in quite the variety. With your chinas, your crashes, your splashes. And that one is actually a special effects cymbal, an ozone cymbal. And then for pedals, you can get a double bass pedal on an electronic kit as well. But you can see the hardware is quite a bit different. So let's go into sound. Oh. So if you want to hear the sound in an acoustic kit, let's take a look. See it's all. You can see the volume's very dependent on how you're playing, but it does give it a nice warm sound compared to most electronic kits, which are digitalized, so it doesn't have the acoustic nature of them. So really when you like acoustic kit, you'll notice multiple pedals too. In an acoustic kit, the pedals tend to feel a little more metallic. It's sometimes hard to get between the two because some electronic kits will have double cymbals, but it won't give you the same feel the trigger as this does. Nor does the double bass always sound the same, because you can play one side louder than the other side if you or the other way. So it gives you kind of a different feel with the pedals. That's a big difference with the electronic and acoustic kits. So one thing you'll notice about the acoustics is portability. As you saw with the electronic one, how easy it was to pick up. See with the acoustics, as you can see, each part you'd have to carry manually and carry it away. This one's fairly compact and lightweight, which is nice. Or you can probably see there's lots of acoustics that can get pretty big out there. But either way, this will take about an hour for teardown and setup to get it all ready to go and packed. Each one of these cymbals, obviously you can take the cymbal off and compact the stand. So an acoustic, yes, you can move it, but obviously electronic definitely has the advantage there in portability. You may remember on the electronic kit how you had the drum module. Acoustic kits, you can often get these arms right here to hold either an iPad, a tablet, your phone to keep track of your music. They're very handy to have. As you can see, I put mine on my cymbal stand right here. Some people will put them underneath a hi-hat, just somewhere convenient. But it is at least an equalizer between the electronics and the acoustics, is that you can still have your music electronically in some kind of device and still have it handy. And just like with the electronic kit, you can always have your drumsticks handy, because as we all know, when you're a drummer, you're going to drop your sticks or break your sticks at some point. So having your sticks handy, you can do that on either type of kit. Thanks for joining us with this video, taking a look at electronic versus acoustic kits. Keep in mind that the major benefits with electronics are the portability and also being completely silent if you don't want to annoy your neighbors. As for the acoustics, as you can see, they just look cool and they have a different sound qualities to them, which can be important especially when you're playing live. Thanks for joining us here. Please like and subscribe. Comment below if there's anything else you'd like to see, or if they have any more input as to what you think about our drums. And if you have any other recommendations of what you'd like to see in the future. Thank you. See ya.